Check out what the satisfied Dan Gemus real estate team clients are saying about working with the Dan Gemus team. Visit dangemus.com.
I got to thank you for being a voice of reason in a sea of insanity.
Now back to the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show on AM 800.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to the show. Dan Gemus with you here, along with Joyce and with Stephen. And now it's time for our topic with our good friend Mandy Taggart from The Organizer. She's the owner of The Organizer and always joins us this time every month. Hey, Mandy, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, you have a great topic for us today, all about minimalism.
Yes, I wanted to talk about minimalism because it's really the core value that drives what we're trying to achieve within my whole business.
Yes, for sure. Where do we start?
Okay, so let's start with the definition. The way that I define minimalism is like the art or the technique of living with less and living simply, right?
I love it.
Yeah. It's really just kind of eliminating anything in your life that doesn't serve any purpose, removing all of that excess clutter so we can live in a simple kind of easy way.
And we know us North Americans, we love our stuff, don't we? We just have stuff everywhere.
We do have stuff everywhere, but I think we've been conditioned to love it. I don't know if we actually do.
It's true.
I don't think that many of my clients really love all of their stuff, to be honest.
It's true.
Some stuff, yes, but not all.
Perfect. So where do we start? How do we tackle this?
Well, I wanted to talk about some of the benefits of minimalism, right? Because some people think about it and they're like, okay, this is me not being allowed to have anything in my home. And that's definitely not the case. I mean, I consider myself to be a minimalist, but I have plenty in my home. I have 2 young kids. They come with a lot of toys, a lot of stuff. I myself, like any girl, I love my clothes. I love, I love my things. I can be sentimental as well. So I have some sentimental items too, but it's really just about the whole scale, right? The scale of what you have and the scale of how valuable that is to you and whether or not it's benefiting you. But minimalism itself can bring a lot of benefit into everybody's life, I believe.
Fantastic.
So some of those benefits would be right off the hop, there's less to organize and less to clean. So when you have less clutter, you don't have to tidy up as often. You don't have to worry about it. You spend a lot less time on the housework, and that frees up your time, obviously, to do more things that you enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else?
Another benefit would be the financial benefit, right? So if you're spending mindfully and if you're not bringing in things to the home or buying things out of impulse, we're all targeted by our phones, right?
Yeah,
you talk about something in Facebook trying to get you to buy it. But if we can be mindful about what we're spending our money on and what we actually do and don't want or need in our home, want versus need is a big thing. But the more mindful we are when we're spending, the more we can save because we know that some of the things are impulse buys and we can eliminate those. Right?
The stores have become, so good at really targeting us consumers, and we just everything at the aisle. So as you're cashing out, you got more stuff there, and it's all marketing, right? So you're right.
Yep.
We all love stuff.
Yeah, well, the corporations, right? They spend billions of dollars a year on strategy how to get us to buy more.
Exactly.
And how to get us to consume more, right? So they're putting big bucks into this. There's something to it. The placement of things is not just by chance in the store. That's for sure.
Yeah. What else we got?
Another benefit of minimalism, I would say, is the positive environmental impact.
Yes.
So this one, I would think I love to bring it to scale again, right? So think of babies and how many things they have and how many big plastic things they have, from swings to car seats to jolly jumpers, all of the things, and just think in how many babies. So in Canada, there's roughly 220 to 240,000 babies born per year. Which is a lot of babies, right?
No doubt.
So that's a lot of car seats. That's
and
a lot
not to mention that car seats expire as well. People don't realize, right? So you can't use them forever.
You can't, no. And there's only a handful of companies that you can actually give them back once they're expired, and they'll dispose of them properly, or they'll dispose of them in a good way. Most of them end up in the landfill, right? So maybe car seats aside, but if we start looking at like secondhand, this baby doesn't fit in the swing for more than 6 months. So the swing is probably in fantastic condition. We don't need a new swing. We could always get a secondhand swing, right? And just try to lower that demand a little bit so there's less waste out there.
Love it.
Yeah. And then I would say, honestly, overall, the best benefit kind of encompasses all of that, right? And it's your mental well-being and just giving yourself mental clarity. Not being surrounded by clutter can immediately remove the clutter out of your mind. Knowing that you're making smart financial decisions will bring you like a good sense of control. You have good decision-making skills, which is really nice to have. It's beneficial. And then knowing that when you're making these mindful choices to spend in a consignment store or buy something off marketplace secondhand, you're doing something that's good for the environment while also getting what you do need.
And saving some money, of course, the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now,
absolutely.
I have to say, Mandy, I love I'm a minimalist myself. I love less stuff, right? So in our house, in the kitchen, on the counters, I love nothing on it. On my desk, my goal is always, desk zero. We have email zero, desk zero. If there's files or paperwork on my desk, it's stuff I have to get done. So my goal is always to get them out of the way. It's like you said, it's easier to clean whatever section or whatever room you're in, right? So there's no doubt. So I guess my next question to you, Mandy, is how do you help clients as you're working with someone who, again, we all love stuff. You said earlier that some people love their stuff. How do you convince them that they don't need all these things and that they can let go of some things?
Yeah. So we work through the purging process, which is a number of questions, right? Depending on what it is that we're looking at, we can ask very simple questions. How long has it been since you used this? Do you even think about this? What is the reason that you're hanging on to it? Do you even know? Or why did you buy it? And, asking these questions kind of starts opening up people's eyes. Another one is we look at quantity, right? I remember I had a client who had 2 closets full of coats. So I asked her before we purged them, I said, how many coats do you think is a reasonable number of coats for a person to have, right? And I'm not going to give you that number. I'm not Marie Kondo. I'm not limiting you at a certain number of coats, right? And she said probably like 20 or 30.
Oh
and
my
I said,
God.
okay, so we'll work through
for
that.
one person?
For one person.
Oh
but
my
let's be clear. She had a couple closets full, right? So she probably had over 100 coats.
Oh,
so
my.
20 or 30 to her, she has a lot of clothes. Like she's a very fashionable lady. So we did go through her coats and we probably pared it down to about half of what she had. She probably ended up with about 50 coats that fit nicely in just the one closet.
Moly.
So we opened up the other closet space completely. She still had more than she said was reasonable, but she felt good about that first purge.
Okay, step.
Right? I don't ever want my clients to feel like they're regretting their decisions when they're purging with me.
Yeah.
And I'll never make that choice for you. So I just ask questions like that. Another one too that I always get a laugh out of is if a dog pooped on this item, would you wash it or would you throw it in the garbage?
What a great
Right?
way of looking at it. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so we've got questions and I kind of tailor my questions based on what we're looking at, what we're purging, and just kind of the personality of the client too, to make sure that they're comfortable. And we just try to make it as fun as possible.
Wow, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, what do you find is the hardest items for someone to let go? What do you see most often? Is it clothes?
Definitely the sentimental.
Yeah.
Anything sentimental, yeah. And that could be really anything. People attach value to all sorts of different objects just because of, their past, their experience, their memory with that. So it could be something that I would never think is like a sentimental thing, maybe a pair of jeans.
Sure.
But that pair of jeans they wore at a very specific time and this amazing thing happened and it kind of represents that memory. So with the sentimental things, it's hard because they don't want to let go of the memory when they're letting go of the item. So we really talk through that to make sure that while we're purging, it's not going to affect them down the line.
Listen, when talking clothes, I shouldn't be speaking because if you ask Nick, I have so much clothes that I've had for 20 years, but I don't want to let it go because it's comfortable. I might not wear it in public anymore, but it's just that T-shirt that's just comfy. You wear around the house, those jeans, like you said, but you just sometimes just want to hang on to those things. They're comfy and they're good to have around the house. But Nick would just get rid of it all.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Nick, to be honest. I don't know what item in my closet. I'm not sure what item actually would be my longest owned item. Probably a sweatshirt of some sort.
Oh,
but
my goodness. Yeah. I still have a sweater, like a hoodie from AM 800 from my days working here at the station. It's got to be 25-ish years old. And I still love it. It's one of the most, one of the comfiest ones I have, and I can't let it go. So Nick always says it looks frumpy on me, but too bad. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's sentimental, but it's also functional. It's a piece of clothing, right? So if we can have a sentimental item function in a way as well, like a mug or something, piece of clothing, it's good because it kind of does a double duty for you. You bet. You bet. So listen, Mandy, if someone has questions or if they want to look at bringing you on to help with their organizing, what's the best way to reach out to your team? I would say the best way would be to go to our website, theorganizer.ca, and there's a booking link there. You can book a consultation with us, or you can just fill out a form and let us know what you're interested in, and we can reach out to you to set up something personal for you. Theorganizer.ca. Mandy, thank you as always. Appreciate the help. Yes, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. You got it. So we'll see you next time. That's Mandy Taggart, owner of The Organizer. And she's a great help. And you could tell she'll come in there and she'll just help you organize. She won't be forceful and have you throw a bunch of stuff out unless you're comfortable with it. But she might also be very convincing as she gets through items at the house. And I know she's helping a lot of our clients who are downsizing, who are moving, a lot of estate sales she's helped with as well. And helped families through those as well. So always helpful to have Mandy with her advice. So if you have any questions, reach out to her, theorganizer.ca. We'll take a break with lots more to come right here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.